Morning guys, and welcome to today's video. We are working on my 2001 Ram 3500 dually, the 24 valve Cummins inside of it, and we got a bunch of oil leaks to take care of. So the first one on my list, I want to replace the oil cooler gasket, and well, that's what we're doing today. So this is my 2001 24 valve, and it's got about 223,000 miles on it. So it definitely has had a pretty decent life, but it is by no means at the end of its particular life. However, there's a lot of stuff that's starting to go bad on it, seals in particular. So I've got a bunch of leaks that I need to take care of, and I'm kind of putting them off because it seemed like they've been a pain in the butt. Got a power steering leak right here. This is for the hydro booster, which is right there instead of a normal brake booster. My power steering pump, I believe, is also leaking down there. I got to figure this whole thing out, but that's not for today's video. That's at another point. Today's vid, I'm working on the cooler right here. So you're not gonna be able to see it from here, but maybe you can see there is some shiny down in there. So that is because the oil cooler is located right here, and it's behind everything in here. So I gotta replace that seal, and let me show you what the gasket looks like. Went ahead and went with the MAHLE, and that's this guy right here. So pretty much we got these two gaskets. There's a black one and a metal/rubber one. And that's what we're gonna be working on today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Also, the other thing I need to do is this truck is currently running water instead of coolant. It's used as a tow rig by, I don't know if it's commercially or if it was just a private or what, but it looks like they took a shortcut. We're in Florida and they just started throwing water in it instead of coolant. So it doesn't have any coolant leaks that I'm aware of, but we're gonna go ahead and drain this crap out and get some actual coolant in there because I'm gonna be moving to a slightly colder area coming up pretty soon here, and even around here it gets down to about 32, which is real sketch. I've been pushing my luck on this, and we don't want anything to freeze in the radiator and pop a line and then have to cause us more money and damages. If it got really cold, it could freeze in the block and crack the block, so do not want that. That's what we're gonna go ahead and do today, guys. Should be hopefully not too bad, and we'll see what happens. So first thing I'm gonna need to do, I'm gonna go to move this air filter area so I can get access to that area, and then we'll see what else has to come off from there. Okay, so now that the air filter's off, next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is pop off this oil feed line and remove my oil filter. That should give me some access to remove some additional pieces. Okay, so now that that's off, you can definitely see where my leak is now. All down there, all that shiny, that's not good. Same with up around there. You can see a little bit on the top area. So that's pretty much what we're working on. Hopefully I can get this thing out of here without having to remove any additional pipes. I wasn't able to get that bottom one off. I either put it on too tight last time or I don't know. But I got this top one off, so as long as one of these can come off, I think we should be good to go. And yeah, it looks like this oil filter piece, I can't tell if it's two separate pieces or one piece that's on this cover, but we're gonna find out. So next up, all I gotta do is start removing bolts pretty much. So there's a bunch of little bolts all the way around here. I'm gonna get the size real quick, and then I'm gonna start moving them. Taking a quick pause, there is a bolt right up in there that I need a deep socket to get to, and can't quite get to it with the alternator in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop off the belt, slide the alternator out of the way, and see if that helps our situation out. Should also give us more visibility. Bolts in the alternator, top one's a 10, bottom one's a 15. You gotta hold on to the back nut in order to make sure it doesn't spin. Now that's off, we can get a deep socket 10 mil onto this guy right here. That's the one I was having problems. Okay, so try to get up this lower radiator hose to drain everything. Wasn't happening. I think it's just stuck on there for right now. I'll figure that out sometime in the future, but pop it off the coolant hose that goes to the heat exchanger, and it's just draining there. Now, because this is just water, I'm trying not to catch it because I have a limited capacity in my catch pan, and that is reserved for oil. So as you can see, the oil is dripping into, from this piece, is dripping into the pan, and the water is dripping outside, which is fine with me. So I have one more bolt to remove in the center, and you can see it's barely just holding on. Then we can pop that out and pull it all the way out and see what the heck's going on. Now this is 2 layers. There's a gasket right here and another one back in there. So I'm gonna have to pop off the second layer after we get this one off. So let's go ahead and pull this guy off first, set it to the side, and then we'll get to the next one. There you have it. She is out, draining a little bit. I did find a piece of rust actually inside of the coolant passage hole right there, so that was interesting. Could have been blocking a little flow, but that is now out. So let's go ahead and check this out. So the way I went ahead and kept track of all my bolts, this is the layout. Went ahead and stuck them on the new one, which is right here, kind of in each general area. Realized it was upside down, so when I pulled this out, this side, it's actually going like that. And then transferred them all over appropriately, and these are pretty much where they all go. So as you can see, the old gasket is super shot. This area is actually pretty good. The rubber down here, this one not so much. It's just falling apart. So definitely one of our leaks. You can see all the oil that was escaping around there, and the bolts also have oil indicating that their rubber that goes around here is completely gone. So next up, this is the oil cooler. For you, those of you not aware, pretty much what it does, it runs the oil into this little radiator thing, and this guy right here is running with coolant through it, or not through it but around it, and yeah, it cools off the oil that way. Pretty neat. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up, our surfaces cleaned up, see if we can clean up around the area a little bit, and then pop in our new one. So, or our new gaskets. Should be pretty fun. The other fun part that I heard about this is not actually going to be fun, is trying to get these all to line up properly, because there's obviously a lot of bolt holes. So we'll see what we can do about that in a minute. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up real quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, so I got everything cleaned up, getting ready to reinstall this sucker, but this is it after it's been cleaned up a little bit. And same on the back side. I'm gonna wipe it down one more time before we stick it on. Now, there is one little issue that I am concerned about. So on this, it's a new gasket. I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually some pitting going on right around a lot of these nuts where these things are supposed to seal. Same within here. So, into spirit of not having more leaks, I'm actually going to go ahead and throw down a little bit of silicone sealant. We're going to run it around basically this metal part of the bead, and this way there has something extra there just to kind of keep sure, or just to kind of make sure there's something to soak into each of those little divots. Make sure we have a solid seal. I do not want to have to come back and do this again anytime soon. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. You're not supposed to have to do this, but this is something I'm doing extra just to make sure. been a couple days, finally got our coolant in from AMSOIL. Pretty much 50-50 mix. There might be a little bit less than a 50-50 mix. There might be still some stuff rolling around the system, but it was pretty much just distilled water in here before, so no big deal. Should be fine. This is a heavy duty stuff. It's got a SEAs already added to it. I gotta look up what all that means. All I know is diesels need them, and it helps with things and stuff. So if you need it, it's down in the description below. Go ahead and click the link and you can grab some for yourself. Not super cheap, but neither is a motor, so I'm trying to make this thing last. So easiest way to fill this up from what I've been reading is you want to remove the thermostat, even though I just installed it. Pull these back off, remove it, fill up the block through there. That'll require the least amount of bleeding, if any at all. So pull that off and then fill up a radiator, overflow tank, let it run, get up to temp, and see what happens. So let's go ahead and get at it. All right, I'm gonna start up the old girl and see how it works. Gotta wait for everything to warm up. Not warm up really, but just get some stuff circulating so we can keep filling it up. A little rough, but she's on. Got oil pressure, so that's a good sign. All right. Go ahead and let y'all go. Level's going down a little bit, so I'm gonna keep topping it off. Well, we gotta take her around the block, see how she sounds. Also, see if we can't clean that up a little bit and see if it's still leaking. It's blowing, it's warm, so let's see. Man, these things, man, being around new diesels a little bit, this is the loudest motor. I know the 7.3s and Duramaxes are pretty bad too, but good grief. Go ahead and take this around a little bit. See if can't get everything up to temp, see how it does. It looks like the thermostat's working at least. It was at about 200 or 198 and then dropped right down to 184, indicating it opened up. So that's good. And now went ahead and topped off with fuel, so we're good to go. I know it says I have my brights on just because I got the wrong bulbs. My brights are my lows, and my lows are my brights. Fix that eventually, but honestly I don't care right now, they work. Well guys, everything seems to be operating normal. Temperature is doing what it's supposed to do. Oil pressure's not going haywire or anything, so I'm gonna give it a good once over once I get back and everything cools off, top it off, make sure everything's happy. But all in all guys, I think we did pretty good. One leak down, couple to go. I went ahead and bought a kit for the vacuum pump because I'm pretty sure that's another source of oil leaks. Apparently it's a really super common issue on these trucks, and that would kind of explain the area that I'm having a leak in the front end of the motor. So go ahead and knock that out whenever that comes in. Continue the body work on that side. And I mean, the truck's coming together guys, can't wait. What I really want to do is get a lift kit on this thing, do like a 3-inch front and 2-inch blocks in the rear, get it up a little bit, and then I mean, she's really coming together. So thanks for watching. The support is always awesome. Go ahead, feel free to subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing. More stuff to come, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.